So now we're going to wrap up the analysis of this theme from Beethoven's Opus 14, number 2, second movement. Yesterday we analyzed this section up through here. This was a 5 chord in the key of C. So we're going to continue the harmonic analysis from here through to the end. Before I fill in my analysis, why don't you turn off the video, take a moment to do the analysis yourself, and then you can compare your analysis with mine. Okay, so hopefully you've done your analysis, and you'll see we're in both treble clef here. This is actually return of the opening theme with some surprise thicker chords right here. So this is 1, 6, 5, 4, 3 to 1. And then here we get 5, 6, 1, 2, 6, 5. That's our half cadence. And now this second phrase here is a little different than the beginning. It becomes legato, picking up some of the characteristics of this contrasting B section. And here we get 5, 4, 3, 1, 6. This is C sharp, E, G, B flat. That's a C sharp, fully diminished 7th chord, which means we've got 7 diminished, 6, 5. C sharp is a leading tone of D. D is 2. 7 diminished, 6, 5 of 2. Here, this chord is the 2 chord. The C sharp here just sticks around and then resolves. Same thing with the G, that resolves. You could say that in the soprano voice we have a 4-3 suspension, and this is like a suspension except it resolves up. The actual name for that is a retardation. A retardation is a suspension which resolves upward. So then we've got 2, cadential 6-4, 5-3. We do have a 7th on this, and we go to 1. Now we get this very interesting passage right here, harmonizing a chromatic scale, ascending from B up through F. And here we get G7 to C, A7 to D minor, B7 to E minor. These are all little 5-1s. So here we got 5-7 to 1. Here we've got 5-7 of 2 to 2, 5-7 of 3 to 3, and then here 5-4-3. Here on beat 2 we get our 1 chord. All of these here are suspensions. So the 1 chord actually comes in the beginning of the measure, but we can go in and look and see this is a 4-3 suspension. And again, this note here is a 7-8 suspension which resolves upward, also known as a retardation. So here's the 1 chord. This is 2-4-3 to 2-6, cadential 6-4, 5-3 with a 7 and a 1. So now we're going to take a look at these 2 measures right here and their resolution. We're going to look at these more closely because harmonically it's very interesting, melodically it's interesting with this ascending chromatic scale, and there's a little bit of a trick or quirk about the voice leading in this measure. So we're going to look at this I have this extracted from the score here, and it's a little larger. And we're going to convert this into a figured bass. So let me resize this a moment to capture a little more of the document. And we're going to do this twice, actually. Let me refocus. We're going to do this twice, and at the end you'll see why. That's why there's the break right here. So the first thing we're going to do is convert this to a figured bass. And I'm going to just copy these bass notes. I'm going to take this one up an octave to avoid the ledger line. I have to compress it a little bit to get it to fit in this shorter staff. So this is our bass line. Make this a half note. And I'm going to write the figures. Here's 7, root position, 7 with a sharp, root position. This is 7, sharp 5, sharp 3, root position. This is 6-4-2. And I'm going to put a natural in front of the 4. That's the F natural, just to cancel out the F sharp, the previous one. And then here, let's omit the suspensions and just go directly to the triad. So that's the figured bass. And let's take this soprano and copy this soprano. B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, E. Okay, I'd like you to stop the video and part write this, and then come back and we'll talk through it together. Okay, so now I'm going to part right through this. So we got this chord right here, which is 5-7, which goes to 1. Move this up a little bit. And we've got G, B, D, and F. Now we know when we resolve 5-7 to 1, leading tone should go up, 7th should go down, and since we have a complete 5-7 chord, we go to an incomplete 1 chord. Now here, this is exactly the same thing, 5-7 to 1, all of 2. So the voice leading we have here can carry over perfectly here. A, C sharp, E, G. Leading tone goes up, 7th goes down, incomplete chord. Now you'll see that these two voices here leap up. That's okay because these two beats and these two beats are exactly the same, just transposed from C major to D minor. Now again, here we'll have B, D sharp, F sharp, A, 7th resolves down, complete to incomplete, and once again we have this exact thing, 5 to 1, all of 3. And now from here we're going to move to our 5-4-2, G, B, D, F. The voice leading here is a little strange. If you were to hold the G over, this voice would have to leap to B. That's quite a large leap, either up a 5th or down a 4th, and then it creates too much space. If it's down here, there's more than an octave with the soprano. If it's here, there's more than an octave. So we're going to have to take the G up to the B and the E up to the G. Once we have that, it's a very smooth resolution to a complete one chord. I would like you to take a moment, now that this is completed, and compare what I've done and what you should have done with what Beethoven actually does. And then we'll come back and we'll revisit this. So stop the video, compare, come back. Okay, so if you look at ours, you'll see that this is alternating complete and incomplete, complete and incomplete. Now here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 voices, so this voice leading should be exactly the same as what we have in our voice leading. Except here, this is a complete chord, C, C, E, G. This is complete. A, C sharp, E, G, complete, and this is complete, complete, and complete. So how is Beethoven moving from complete to complete, and he's not frustrating the leading tone? Well, let's look at our voice leading. Here, as we have been instructed, the F resolves down, the 7th resolves down. Here, the 7th resolves down. Here, the 7th resolves down. But look at what Beethoven does. The 7th does not resolve down. Here, the 7th does not resolve down. Here, the 7th does not resolve down. Very strange. You've all, maybe not all of you, but many of you have had points taken off for doing exactly this. So I'm very sorry, Beethoven. That's -3 on your part rating. Just kidding. Here, the reason this works is because counterpoint is happening at the same time as chord progression. And in this spot, counterpoint is taking over. So look at what we have. We have here to here is parallel 6th, 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 6th. If you remember from species counterpoint, parallel 6th are very, very strong, something you want to get. And then if you look at these voices, these are parallel thirds. Again, very strong. So really what's happening here is there are parallel 6ths and parallel thirds happening at the same time, and the strength of the counterpoint overrides the need for the 7th to resolve down. And because of this chromatic line with this strong descending 5th bass line, we don't even notice that the 7ths are not resolving properly. Now there's always a question from students, well, if Beethoven can do this, not resolve the 7th properly, why can't I? Why do I get a point taken off? And the standard answer is, well, when you're a Beethoven, you can do this as well. So that's my closing comment. You can admire this, and when you're a Beethoven, you're welcome to break the rule in this way. All for now.